Hello everyone. Before proceeding to the second part of the training program for the SQL for data analyst and the data scientist, we will first do a quick recap of what was discussed in the last session. So in the last session, we learned about the types of the data. Types of the data is categorized in the three types: structured, unstructured, and the semi-structured data. So what is a structured data? The structured data, which is the data which is organized in the rows and columns with a specific data types for the each column. It's like organizing of files in the file cabinet, and each file has a specific type and it belongs to the specific folder. What is unstructured data? The unstructured data means the data which is not in a predefined structure. So, for example, the data like documents, videos, images is the unstructured data. What is a semi-structured data? The semi-structured data is the combination of the structure and unstructured data. For example, as we last time we have seen, the Wikipedia articles is the example of the semi-structured data, which includes both the tables and the unstructured data like a text, images, and other multimedia features. Then we also learn about the data types. Each column in a table has a data type, which determines the type of the data that can be stored in that column, like an integer, text, then the string, dates, timestamp that we have already learned in the last session. Then we also learn about some SQL terminologies like fields, rows, table, database. So fields means, like you can say, the columns, which is the vertical elements in a table. Rows, or you can say records, which is the horizontal elements in a table. Table means the collection of the rows and columns, and database is nothing but which holds all the tables. Afterwards, we also have the scene that there is the relational database, and SQL is used to communicate with the relational database, such as the PostgreSQL, the SQL. These are the examples of the relational database. So, this is our today's agenda, and in today's agenda, we will cover these topics. We will cover how we can installation of the PostgreSQL, then the types of SQL commands, creating a database, how we can create the tables, then how we can insert the data into the tables, then there is a not null and a default constraint in the table. So in this slide, we will learn how we can install the PostgreSQL. So PostgreSQL is an open source and a lightweighted relational database management system. It is a widely popular among the developers and has been well accepted by the industry. So in this tutorial, we will learn how you can install PostgreSQL on your Windows or the Mac systems. So this is the URL. After clicking on the URL, it will take you to the download page. I can just post the same link in our video description, from where you can note down and you can download the same thing. So this is the page where it comes. Here they are provided the different types of versions for the PostgreSQL. I just take the latest version and I install this on my machine. After installing it on my machine, you can see this type of icon can you see on your machine. After doing that, you just click on that. After clicking it, if you cannot see the desktop also, let me show you again. So I hope you can see the desktop now. So I just click on that package version. After package version, it will ask you about your pass. Then there is a setup wizard screen is going to be display. So after displaying the setup wizard, you just click on the next button. It asks you for the installation directory. You can put whatever as per your convenient. Then there is the different components for the PostgreSQL server. Then there is a data directory. As per your requirement, you can change that path also. Then you have to enter your password. Then click on the next. Then you can choose your port as per your need. Here is the local one. Then these are the summary of the settings which we are using for the PostgreSQL installation. After finishing this, you can just click on the next and you will finish your PostgreSQL server. After finishing this installation, you can see there is the PG admin icon on your machine. So after clicking on the PG admin icon on the desktop, this tool is getting populated here, the PostgreSQL, where the PostgreSQL's database is by default. So if you click on that, there is the different types of the things are getting displayed here that we'll see in the further sessions. So today we are now we already learned how we can install the PostgreSQL on your desktop. Now the next thing is that we are going to see what are the SQL commands which we are going to use to communicate with the relational database. So there are the three types of SQL commands. So one is the data definition language, then there is a data manipulation language, and the third one is the data query language. So in the data definition language, there is a create database, create table, drop database, then there is a create table. These are the data definition language. Then there is the data manipulation language here, which are using the insert into is the data manipulation language. Then there is a data query language. The select statement is the data query language, which help us to retrieve the data from the table. So we start to see one by one different types of the SQL commands. So the first command is the create database. So I'm going to create a database here. So there is a create database training. After typing this, I just need to select that command and click on the run. Once you run it, it shows you that your data is created successfully. If you want to make sure that it is done or not, you just need to click on here and do the right click and refresh it. So if you see, your data is getting displayed here. If you want to delete this database from the server list, you just need to drop database training. Then you just select this SQL query and click on the run. So you see the message of the successfully. How you can make sure? Just click on the database, right click on it, refresh. Your database is not available there. There is also the other way is that when you just right click on the database and there is the tool is available about that create database. So after selecting it, you can enter your database name here and you can create the database also. So this is the way of creating the database. So let me create our database again. Select the SQL query and click on the run. My database is here. Now the next query is about the creating the table. So I'm selecting this SQL command and okay. So in my table I have choose in employee table I have choose first name, middle name, last name, age, salary and the location. As the first name is the string, so it's my data type is varchar. Middle name is also string, so my is the varchar. Last name is also string, so my data type is the varchar. And the age is a numeric value, so it's an integer. Salary is also numeric value, so it's also the integer, and the location is again the string, so I choose the varchar. You can change the value of this varchar. You can keep it as 100. It's up to you, as per your need. You can keep it this value. After that, I just select this SQL query and click on the run. Once it is done, it is say it is already exists. So I forget to change the database name here, as our new database is created. So I just need to go on to the new connection, and here in this I need to check our training database and save it. So now from this drop down you can choose our database. So this is the already is selected. So this is our database. Now I am again selecting this query and click on the run. So you see our table is created under this database name. How you can check it? You just need to go here, and there is a table. In the table there is the employee database is present, which has the columns first name, middle name, last name, age, salary, location, as we describe here. Now, if I select this one, if I select data from the table, what will be my result? So let me try. I said select star from employee. So select statement is what are you going to select and from where you are going to select. So instead of star is for selecting all the data. You can choose the specific column also from the table. So if I just select first name column from the employee table, I just do it and select the SQL query and run. So it will just retrieve only one column here. But in our case, if we need to select all the data from the table, we just need to say star and select a query and run it. So you can see it displays all the columns which are present in the create table schema. So here there is no data is available right now, so we didn't retrieve any data here. So how we can retrieve all the data? For that we need to insert the data. Right now it's just show the structure of the data table, but now we are inserting the data in this table. For that I am just running one query. So this is the insert statement which help us to insert the data into our table. If you see here, there is the first name is connected with this one, the middle name is connected with this one, the last name is connected with this one, age is this one, salary is this one, and the location is with this one. So there is each field is connected with some specific data. After doing this, I just want to run this query. So I am just selecting this query and click on the run. So our query is executed successfully. To ensure whether data is inserted in the table, we just need to select the query of the select statement and run it. So you can see data has been inserted in our table. Like that, we are just inserting one row into the table. But if you want to insert more than one rows into your table, it is said bulk insert. So how we can do the bulk insert? So for the bulk insert, you just need to select this query and so this is the bulk insert where I'm inserting more than one rows in the table. So I'm going to run this query. I'm selecting it and click on it. So my query is executed successfully. To confirm it whether data is inserted in my table or not, I again select the select statement and run the query. So did you see? All the 3 rows are inserted in my employee table. So we are done about the installation of the PostgreSQL. Now we also learn about the DDL, DML and the DQL, all the SQL commands. Now the next part is about the constraints. So what is a constraints? Constraints are mainly used to specify the rules for the data in a table. Constraints are used to limit the type of the data that go into a table. This ensure mainly the accuracy and the consistency of your data in the table. So if you insert and any data and is any rule apply for that data, and if you violate that rule, so there is that operation is not going to be happen, it's going to be aborted. So in this session we just learn about the 2 constraints, not null and the default constraint. So let's go back to the PostgreSQL admin, and now I just want to say about the not null constraint. So for example, if here I take this SQL query and try to run in the PG admin part. So if you see here, I trying to insert one data in my table. So I'm just going to select it and try to run it. So once I run it, it's giving me the message of the successfully run. So now I just want to confirm with what I install in that. So I just again select the select query and run it. So did you see, if you observe here, the middle name is the null here, because here there is a first name, last name, age, salary and the location. I didn't mention about the middle name column and I didn't define any data for that. So because of that, there is a null value is getting inserted in the middle name. Same thing I can try for the first name also. If I didn't insert first name here and I just pass my query without the middle name column and the data, so what will be happen, we can see here. So we just select this query and click on the run. So my query is executed successfully. Now I just want to confirm whether my data is inserted or not. I select the query and click on the run. So if you see here, my first name is also empty here. I think this is not a right way for any employee. If I don't have the first name, it will be create a problem in the future. So for that we have to assign some rule for that particular column. If that rule is violated, the operation will not get executed. So what the rule is that? For that rule, we have to say the column first name is always not null. It is not allowed empty. So I am just doing creating the table again and assigning the not null constraint in it. So for that I need to first drop my table. I'm just selecting it and click on the run. So my table is successfully dropped from my database. I just want to confirm it. I select and run it. So there is no data, there is no employee table is present in my database. Now I am going to run the query with the not null constraint. So for that I'm just selecting the query and putting here. I'm select it and click on the run. So my employee table is created here. If you observe here, I keep the first name as the not null. So whenever I am trying to insert the value in my table like this, and now I'm trying to insert the value. So here the first name is going to be as the null. So is it allowed or not? Let's see. So I'm just selecting it and click on the run. So if you see here, it is not allowing me to insert this data because I am violating the column first name rule. So for that I have to, every time I have to insert the first name in my table. So that is the not null constraint. Now our next thing is like we need to see the default constraint. But before going, I just want to request you, if you enjoy the content of this video, please subscribe and join our family. Now move back to our default constraint. So what is a default constraint? In the default constraint, if we say, for example, if I say in the process of the recruiting employees, let's say most of the employees are belonging here with the location of the Hyderabad. When we don't provide an entry in the location column, we explicitly enter the value of the location as the Hyderabad because most of the employees are from there. So every time not to keep entering the name of the location because it will become the redundant job. It's a repetitive job to putting the things. Instead of that, we can just say put the value of that location as the default. So if it doesn't enter anything, it will take the default value as the Hyderabad. So let me share my documents. So we just open the document and from where I take the SQL script for the default constraint and I will try to run it in the PG admin. So I just take it and copy it and try to select it and try to run it. So my query is written successfully. I have created the table for the employee with the not null and the default constraint. Now let me try how it can take the value of the Hyderabad as the default. So let me show you again. So let me share the document and I will try to insert some value, okay, without the location. So before that, I just want to show you whether any data is present or not. So if I run the select statement, it just providing us the structure of the table as we didn't insert any value here. So now I just try to insert value. We do just bulk insert. So it's done successfully. Now let me run again to confirm it. So data is inserted here with the different locations. Now I am running the query which is without any location. So here it provides the first name, last name, age, salary, and if you want we can just also provide the middle name also with the specific value of that. Okay, Now it's time to run the query without default without location. So just select the query and run it. So there is, okay, it's the employee, so I just need to do it again. It's a typo error. So now I think it's done from my side. Now let me run it. So my query is done successfully. Now let me confirm what data is inserted in the location column. So did you see here? It's a Hyderabad. I didn't provide any location value here, but it's by default it takes the Hyderabad value. So like that you can do the bulk insert without providing the location value for that particular column. So that's it from our side. So let's recap what we learned today. So we learn about not null and default constraint also. So this, what is the key takeaways from this training today? So we'll just learn essential commands like select, insert, and the different constraints like a not null and a default constraint. In the next session we will going to see how we can import the data from the Excel file, primary key, composite primary key, and the unique key. So thank you for watching this training program.